This is a Pyramid One International Network presentation. Hi, and welcome to Pyramid One World Radio. Let me tell you about the hosts of the upcoming show, A View of Humanity. Jamie Clark was just voted and given an award for the best psychic in Phoenix, Arizona, 3 years in a row. Evidential psychic medium Jamie Clark offers powerful and accurate validations of the spiritual dimensions around us. As a spiritual teacher, Jamie shows how to integrate the natural psychic senses with the empowerment of spiritual knowledge to help create a more fulfilling life of love, happiness, and success. Jamie's avid curiosity to understand how his gifts work have led him to participating in scientific studies about the afterlife and mediumship. As a master educator in spiritual development, Jamie shares his wisdom through his podcast, Psychic Evolution, the podcast where you discover the psychic potential within and learn how to empower yourself and manifest your psychic and mediumship abilities. Jamie Clark is also an author of the children's book series, The Adventure of Rocco and Tuki, The Kids from Mars, Book 1 and 2, as well as the Psychic Evolution training cards, and the Jamie Isms, Philosophies and Isms of a Psychic Medium. Now, let's talk about Maggie Clark. Maggie Clark is the co-host of the Psychic Evolution podcast and a prolific spiritual coach, an accomplished healer. Maggie is committed to helping people find a way to blend their spiritual life with their everyday life for empowerment, healing, and growth. The author of 365 Days of Tarot, Inspirational Tarot for your daily life. Maggie is a gifted tarot reader and astrologer. Maggie also has a healing arts practice in energy healing modalities. Together, these two team up to show you that your psychic senses are so natural, they are supernatural. Okay, now put your hands together. Let's bring them on. Oh, yeah. They're here.
Whoop, whoop. Sounds like that prayer's working, man. So those eyes roll up forward.
Sounds like what is working?
You know, it was interesting, but as you were talking, we were also in the beginning just hearing kind of like a garbled type of thing. And apparently you weren't hearing that. So what was it, about a minute or so? Yeah. And then, as soon as you clicked it, it went back to normal. So I'm curious to see if that might be picked up in this video. I thought it was interesting. Like, oh crap, is it going to go bad signal?
Oh, you'll have to
Holy
listen to the video tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's right. Everybody listening right now, you can get a copy of this. All you got to do is write to Bob Charles Show at live.com or go on YouTube and put in Pyramid One Radio. And bingo, you'll come right out to the video and you can see it. Or there's even another way. Do Pyramid One Radio and you'll see a little Pyramid One Radio and it'll say Wix, W-I-X. When you see that, click on that. That's the main website where this video will be dead center in the middle live on that website.
Excellent.
So,
excellent. Thanks, Bob.
I'll get you no
Good,
matter
man.
whether it's coming or going. I'm going to get you.
God is covered.
Booyah.
That's it.
Yeah. So we have somebody in here already. They've been waiting here for a while.
Awesome. Let's have some fun.
Let me see. I didn't. Whoa. Sometimes you got to read the numbers. It's so tiny. Okay, who is on the phone?
This is Suzanne Dobbs.
Suzanne.
Yes.
All right, here's Jamie and Maggie. Maggie. What do I say, Maggie?
That one.
I swear to God, I said that to somebody else. His name was Maggie too today. I said Maggie, M-A-G-I, but whatever.
When you have a few drinks, that's how you pronounce it.
I apologize. My tongue got in the way of the rest of my face. But anyway, go ahead.
How you doing, Suzanne? What's going on?
Oh, wow. Oh, no, it's quite frustrating. For a few months, I've had a parasite infection. And I've been to a dozen doctors, and some give me prescriptions, but then it never seems to be enough. I don't know how to work, function. Disgusting. It's hard.
And so how can we be of service to you?
I don't know. I was asked to call, and I'm not sure why.
I kind of feel like, one, that's the first step in realizing that you will take time for yourself. I feel like you're good for a lot of people, but sometimes that you might be so good and forget about you to make sure that everyone else will start to disappear. And so the great thing is I also feel like symbolic and literally is you're on this communication, this phone in whatever way, but it's also about you being able to express yourself more fully, more effectively. I'm not a doctor, nothing. I cannot diagnose in any way, but it also becomes sometimes the reflection of our thoughts within our body. And it's not a negative, there's no karma. However, if you keep thinking lower thoughts or challenging thoughts, you're going to start to infuse that energy vibe within your cells. And then that's how you start to walk in and go, I feel tired, or I feel, saturated. It'll just be an energy that just becomes heavy. And so a little bit, for myself, I'm no longer a hypocrite. I do help myself. I will always help anyone I can, but I also needed to learn to be able to help myself because otherwise I was challenged at the very thing I would ever do for others and not me. So also, if someone shared with you to maybe call in, that also tells you in a cosmic way, there is compassion for you. There is a potential direction if you even choose to pick up the phone or however you're calling and to have at least a communication, a conversation. And that potentially could be also the start the ball rolling. All you needed was that, and then just let it roll downhill. Let the gravity naturally work with it. Don't let it be a boulder anymore. We're trying to hold it up. Let it go. And then a little by little, if you can, giving yourself an opportunity, because I understand if you don't have your health, you don't have much, man, at least from my perspective. So in that, it's also that I needed to find some other way to start shifting my energy. And so what I started to do was take myself memory, back to a memory where I felt happy or healthy or any of those qualities. And I would just go and sit in that energy, that memory, and recall it. And now I'm vibing on that. So those energies are now getting into my cells and I'm able to start healing myself. Because I always say, no one's ever the healer. We're only the facilitator. Each person heals themselves, but you can be a really good facilitator. And I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm sure you still are, but I just feel like maybe in earlier times that you were a go-to person or just people felt comfortable enough to go, no, you're genuine, you're sincere. So I know if it's coming out your mouth, you mean it. You're not just trying to make everyone happy. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, click. Oh.
No, we didn't.
I think yes. Did you hear me?
Yeah, we didn't
Yes,
hear you.
we certainly can. Oh. I was just messing with you. Yes, you got it. But thank you for taking the time and acting on this, because you didn't have to, but apparently it was enough to go, you know what, let's just see. Let's just see what maybe can happen. Maybe a word, and then possibly you get a slightly different perspective. You get the credit. You didn't have to call in, but you did, and just let things free flow. The more that I would sit in that healthy vibe and accept it, because I wasn't making stuff up, I'm recalling a real memory. I was able to start adjusting my body. That to me was a big thing. And I know going through all the testing, believe me, I know all that stuff. So just for myself, I needed to prove it to me. Then maybe we can help other people. Because, you know, if I'm not able to help myself and feel like I'm just throwing my stuff on other people, I don't feel good. Like, good. Well, guess what? Let's do this as a teamwork. And then the power in numbers, because a lot of us will feel alone, and it's not easy. Yeah, be positive and happy when you're kind of feeling in your own way. But also, maybe possibly, if that is the case for you, you've also been left alone to find yourself again. And in that, finding right where you are, where do we want to go from here? Because I just feel like you're strong, so you know you can survive this. But I also feel like your energy is a little bit maybe going to start to lighten up and release a little bit of the, of course, certainly heavy energy. But once you can feel a difference, because for me, you know, what are these mantras and meditations manifesting in my life, or why am I doing it? I'm very practical about this stuff. So my thing is, you know, I would give you tools. Maggie will give you some insight as well. But anything we share, if you're even interested, please put to the test. Once you get a result, okay, now there's something to it. You know, second hand's lovely. First hand is real.
So, Suzanne, I threw down some cards, and it's definitely in accordance with what Jamie said about, you know, shifting energy, shifting perspectives, things of that nature. But what the cards really suggest is to stay committed to finding the help that you need. I think that internal commitment right now, even though you get tired and you're like, oh my God, is this ever going to end? Is anyone going to really see what's going on and help me? I feel like there is just stay committed, shift perspectives. You might have to look for a different kind of practitioner or a different doctor who can really, you know, take you from where you are to where you want to be. And the nice thing is, you know, the outcomes of these cards are really positive for physical, like, integrity and empowerment. And you have the strength card as an outcome. So that really signifies to me that you'll become more empowered. But the trick here is to stay really committed and to find that, or shift perspective, or find the right practitioner, find the medical practitioner that can really steer you in a direction and stick with you. There's something about sticking with one, and instead of bouncing around, but finding the right one and really staying the course with one course of action, whether it's a doctor you already have in place, or whether it's maybe a naturopath or some other medical professional. I'm not really sure which direction it's going to go. I don't know if it's in your energy field now already, or if it's coming up, but I think that internal commitment to go, all right, I just need to find someone who can work with me. I think even though we get frustrated when situations like this happen, I think that's going to be the most beneficial. And listen to other perspectives. This is a time of really, you know, going inward, gathering and shifting your energy, just like Jamie said. And I hope that helps.
Now, just one other thing, if I can share, and that is, Suzanne, that positive thinking thing, okay, and that kind of effect on the body. Has there ever been an experience in your life that was either a joke or something funny that happened? Have you ever been able to have that? Hello?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, yes, I certainly understand. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times when we start to go into that funny mode or explain whatever it is, you're on that happy channel. All you were doing is shifting your thought, yet look at the different emotional response that goes with it. I had to learn for me that I can work with this energy and give me some validation, universe, that this stuff works. Because the more that I was accepting my health, and I wasn't perfectly healthy yet, but I was accepting it, then I began to attract the right doctors in the right way with the right test to give me the right end result of information and begin the healing process. I had to initiate, I'm ready for healing. So what happened? Once I accepted it, it came to me with the life flow, not trying to make it with a life force.
There are also, have you ever heard of a technique called Jin Shin Jitsu, Suzanne?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that is a Japanese healing art, and there are some, they call them flow patterns. They just help basically harmonize the life force energy in the body. And there are two books that I'm going to recommend. You don't have to buy both of them, one or the other. And there are flow patterns in there that help with infections, that help like really increase the immune system as well, which is going to be good for all of our listeners going through the seasons of our immune systems being challenged with all the stuff going around. So those two books, one is called The Touch of Healing by Alice Burmeister, and the other one is called The Art of Jin Shin by Alexis Brink. And in those books, there's a flow pattern called the Spleen Flow, and it's not specifically just the spleen, but it does support the immune system across the board. So when we're dealing with anything that's hard to treat, anything that's been nagging, this is one of those flows that you could do for yourself. And all you have to do is put your hands in the certain locations, and the book will guide you through all of those. And it's amazing. I love this art because it at least gives us something to help empower ourselves. And it can totally support your energy body. It can support your emotional body, your mental body. It supports the whole kit and caboodle. So those are two books that I recommend. Like I said, you don't need both. That flow pattern is in both of those books. And the books will describe what you're doing and how to do it. And it's very, very easy, but just give yourself that maybe 20 minutes a day, or if you want to do it once a day, you could do it twice a day, but give yourself that moment of time and consciously like work with moving the energy in your body. You don't actually ever have to know what you're doing. Everybody on this planet has hands, so they have jumper cables to recharge the battery of life in their body, in their emotional body, physical body, mental body, and spiritual body. So this is something that I totally recommend. And if you would like to do a self-help consultation with myself, I'd be more than happy to talk you through what you're doing, teach you the flow pattern, and all of my self-help consultations are complimentary, so it's free of charge, of course. If you can't buy the book for whatever reason, I will email you a printout that I have for my self-help classes that go, really take you through. So if you're willing to help yourself, I think that that's actually something that might just support you until, you really get a handle on what's going on. Because I know that this is one of those things where we get victimized by situations, especially when we're sick. No one likes to be sick. We feel like poop. So I think that it's really important to give ourselves those moments where we can support whatever is going on. And it's a really easy thing that you can do.
But interestingly enough, we're sitting here having a conversation, yet here's one tool, one modality that's effortlessly, your only effort and energy is to take the time to good. And I will say, for me, I do the spiritual stuff, all the things, and everything's spiritual. But also, unless I've experienced, firsthand whatever the benefits might be of whatever modality, it's like, oh, that's lovely. However, I need to know what's real for me. Maggie's very gracious. She's very talented. And the times that she's worked for me and with me has made a major shift in my own way, which gave me more healthfulness, a little bit more ease to live and not just exist and survive. And my thing is let's get an end result. That kind of healer's lovely, but you're the one who's going to help heal yourself. They can just give you the flows of your own energy and your own batteries, apparently, right? Heal yourself. Because that's basically it. Doesn't mean it's easy. Like, yeah. However, just moment by moment. And if you've ever had a healthy day that you felt good in any way, and you can recall that, even a second, then go recall that memory. Because now, at least for a second, you're getting that thought pattern of a healthy, positive vibe. The longer you stay on that channel, the more powerful and consistent it becomes. It's just taking the dedication and discipline to do the best we can to go, okay, if I got to do this to get here, then I'm here. Okay. Once you've got that, and train how it feels to be healthy, and you can recall it.
There you go. Yeah. So how do you feel now? She's not answering me.
Oh, click. I think she hung up on us.
Sorry. A bit overwhelmed. It's a lot at once.
You know what you do now. You come to Pyramid One Radio, right? And you put it on YouTube, and you get a copy of this video. Or now I'm going to give her everything. I'm going to open up the treasure chest right here. Right to Bob Charles Show. at live.com, and I will send you a copy of this show. So you can get all the names of the books and their authors and different ways in that to fix yourself. It's all right here on the video. Now, if that is not the way you can do it, let me give you another one. Go to jamieclark.net. Simple as that. You can go right to Maggie and Jamie, right through the website.
And the good thing is you don't even have to ask for anything. In our own choices, reasons, circumstances, chose to go, hey, maybe this tool might help you. So if anything, at least you're given an opportunity to choose something from not maybe having anything going to go, oh, okay, well, there's one. So if I put it to the test, maybe I might get an end result. Otherwise, at least you know your energy of possibly you wanted to be a little bit more healthy, co-created the experiences. We didn't go into a trance. We're just giving you that information. And then, not only that, willing to follow up in any way to help you get that connection to yourself. So basically what that tells me is the universe has compassion for you, which tells me you're finally probably getting frustrated enough to go, I'm going to have some compassion for myself. And in being able to do that, when you can just breathe, then you can allow life to happen and the right people in the right way at the right time to come in with those benefits. For myself, like I've said, I certainly, to a certain extent, understand I've had my own dynamics. But my thing was, what is this manifesting? Because I'm tired of existing. This health thing is bugging me because I was going to other people and they weren't getting information. So I put this stuff to the test and instantly, coincidentally, there is none, this doctor in the right way in his own life experience. It's like, I think I could help you. We'll do some testing. And they started finding things from others that didn't. And coincidentally, that I shifted my thought to the healthier channel, and then coincidentally brought a doctor in his own experience through choice, not manipulation, and then gave me an opportunity of information to gain a little bit more clarity. Because if you don't always understand what's going on, you're like, oh, I hope it's okay. What the? And then you start going down the rabbit hole. So it doesn't mean it's easy, but even, like I said, just a second on recalling that healthy in any way, do it. Because you're not making things up. You're really recalling a real experience, the ability to entrain that energy.
I like the way you said that. That was pretty good. Maybe that's what I'm gonna check out this video tomorrow myself to remind me. I'm like,
That's awesome.
Hey, well, Sue, you thought you were gonna get this. No, I'm taking it. That's it. Finished. But on the other hand,
it can be that easy.
Yeah, well, hey. But let me see now. Let me just okay.
But that became the point. I was trying to find all these things and work with the life force until I started accepting it as a reality and let it flow to me with the life flow. And it sounds like semantics, but it's not. The way we approach the universe, it approaches you. So I'm going to have this. I want it. And as soon as I was doing that, I had the right intent, but I was seeing it as someday. So to the universe, it's like, oh, you're planting those seeds of someday. You must want it someday. And it would always stay someday. Once I changed just my thought, all I can speak about, it happened. It shifted. That gave me the ability to go, okay, if that can freaking work, what else do I want to do? Right, because now you have a solid knowingness, not a belief, a knowingness that technique or whatever you choose to do has gotten you a good result. And if you don't like the result, then don't do it again. But at least you're trying.
I was just going to say that, though, when you were saying that, because you said the knowingness.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you ever notice, Ned, that if you really, really want something, you already have it?
And then? You can allow it to manifest.
You just brought the whole thing out right there. I mean, so many people that come up to me and they say, I wish. That when they say, I wish, I say, okay, you're defeated. They say, what do you mean? Because you're wishing.
And what are you wishing on?
Yeah, you have. You have. You're breathing. You're here. You're talking to me. I'm talking to you. You're probably pissed off at me at this point, but that's okay. But I'm serious. I mean, people look at you like,
until they experience it.
Yeah.
Now you're not so crazy. Now it's like, oh.
I think if I didn't mention it last time I was with you, there was somebody that I had spoken to about 6 months ago, something like that. And I beat the heck out of this person. I swear to God. You ever meet one of these persons, and right now we got thousands of them walking down the streets. They're just defeated. They really, really are. I mean, it's like, all the stuff with the news and the COVID and the diseases and viruses and economy, and you go to the store. I mean, even in my own store, whereas we got Publix here. I mean, I can use the name. Publix is huge in Florida. I mean, there's 3 super places, like right within 5 or 10 minutes of the studio. I can go anywhere and get anything I want. Used to get anything I wanted. I mean, it's not just toilet paper anymore. You can't even get gravy. I'm serious. Gravy, rice, certain beans and things. Ned, you want a hot dog? You can, if you want the ones that are the fake hot dogs. If you want the real ones, forget about it. The beef is gone. I mean, and this is what's going on. And they keep saying, like, hey, it's supply lines and this and that and the other thing. So meanwhile, you got the people that are listening to this, their minds are becoming like an overdone noodle, Blah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. It's more or less like they're just blah. It's like they have they're get up and go, got up and went. I don't know where it went, but it went. And I try the best I can from things that you've said and a few other people that we've had on the show and that have said before. All you have to do is tell yourself it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay to be like you are, but it's even better if you say to yourself, hey, there's better on the other side of this. Keep hoping. It's here. It's here. You have it. It's in your person. Use it. And somebody go, what? What do I have to use? It's kind of crazy in it, but sooner or later, I'm sure that we'll get through to a lot of people.
Well, and here's the thing, because a lot of us have the right intent, but we'll tend to focus on the challenge rather than the solution. And what I mean by that is most of us want love in our lives and we want people in our lives, but the average person approaches that when they're talking to the universe like this. I know what I don't want. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be alone. And even though they have the right intent of people and love and all that kind of stuff, they're sending the signal out of broke, alone, that kind of thing. So guess what they get more of? Broke, alone.
Same thing all over again.
Yeah. To me, it's no karma. It's a vibrational match. What you think about, good, bad, happy, or sad, it's all relative. Because what's good for one is not good for the other. Now it's what do we find value in? And for me, once I get that solid validation, just for me, now I'm willing to work with it more. I've got an end result. Let's see if we can do it again. And sometimes I got to step stage it. I'm not silly. I'm not going to go, here's this and boom, because then I start freaking out in the middle. Take those small basic steps so I build upon each other with solid safety and harmony. And then I'm at that very top. Because one, I've already accepted myself at the top.
That's like making Groundhog Day. You know what I'm saying? It's like over and over. I mean, come on. Be honest with me. How many times in the day? I mean, I don't know how much TV and that you guys listen to and that, but I always like to listen to the weather and that and see what's going on because I'm out, most of the day. So when I do that, you hear all the rest of the stuff that's there, and it's like Groundhog Day every day. When you turn on TV, It's the same stuff.
Reinforcement of information begins to saturate the mind. I keep hearing this. There must be something to it. And It's not easy to just shift it. But my point is, right, there's the information. If you're good with it, accept it. If not, we're not. We're going to shift our thoughts to what we do accept.
And on the other hand, look at what it does to people. It takes your immune system and flushes it down the toilet. You actually literally can make yourself sick. If you keep thinking like this and thinking like this and thinking like this, everything that's energy in your body is right out your ears. Gone, see ya. And it's that easy, right? Mag, you're gonna give me, oh yeah, go for it.
I'm going for the second brain in your gut, right?
Oh,
Where, your stomach, it digests food, but it also digests information. Everything that you take in from your environment, everything you feel, everything you think, whether you're thinking it consciously or if it's just playing as like a little subconscious programming or whatever it might look like, you have to digest all that. And we digest that all the time energetically. And so we're really overburdened with the amount that we consume. We consume so much social media, so much video, so much TV, so much It's amazing the stimulus that we have, but we have to digest all that. We have to digest it in our system. And it's not just our nervous system, it's our gut, it's our internal second brain. And so this whole digestion of information, most of us don't slow down enough and be calm to allow that digestion to actually occur before they're moving on to the next thing that they're going to consume to digest. And so it's like eating a pizza. I'll have a slice of pizza in the morning. I'll watch the news. Oh, wait, let me get on social media at my lunch break. Let me have 2 more pieces of pizza. And then at night, let me have the rest of the pizza, man. I'm going to binge watch Netflix because it's awesome. And I love Netflix, and I like to binge once in a while too. But all that consumption, whatever we're consuming, because we're all consuming something different, whether it's a book or whether a book's a little bit slower paced, but whatever we consume, we have to digest. So if you're eating 1, 2, 3, 10 pizzas a day, what's your body going to do with that? Where's it? How's it going to digest all that food? It's not going to work as well as if we just had a couple of slices every meal instead of like 5 or 10 pizzas a day. And so this digestion's something that you should just keep in mind. What you think about, and what you, like, just like Jamie said, what you pay attention to, you have to eat it. You're eating it. Think about that. You're shoving it in your mouth and you're eating it, and your whole energetic body has to digest that. So what are you putting in? Are you putting in toxic things, poisons, or is it comfort food? Or it doesn't matter what it is. Honestly, it doesn't really matter what it is, but just be aware of what you're consuming. I have no judgment here because I love pizza and I love binge watching Netflix. So, but it is something that you will energetically have to digest. The human digestive system takes a while to get from the stomach, from the mouth down the esophagus to the stomach, all the way through the digestive process to where it comes out again. And that process takes a while. It doesn't happen in a matter of hours. It happens in a span. To get from A to Z through digestion, it takes a while. So when you think about how long your body takes to digest food, how long does it take you to digest energy that you consume? Do you even know the answer to that question? Because that is really important for us to think about as we move forward and consume whatever we're going to consume.
And kind of like Mag is saying, the old saying, digest that. Here's the information. So now we have a metaphysical and a physical integration of it to go, well, they're both kind of in the gut area. Yeah, I believe, I'm not a doctor, but I believe that is the case for the gut. The gut was in the brain, or
the second,
how did that work?
They call it the second brain.
Okay.
When the body develops in embryo, you're actually your stomach drops down, becomes your second brain. It starts in the top and just drops down. So it is connected to brain function, and it is known as a second brain. Anyone who studies energetic healing would totally understand what I'm talking about. And if not, just think about what I talked about.
I mean, I get it, because I mean, I've heard people that we had a couple of people on here that were talking about the difference between like GMO foods and organic foods. What one does to you and what the other one does. One is poisoned. People don't get it through the thick head. Genetic modified organisms. That's the stuff you're eating. The Roundup that they use on it is put on the ground to get rid of the weeds. It rains or waters, goes through the ground into the water table. The water table then is consumed by who? You. You turn on your faucet and out comes the water, and you go, hey, look, that's clear water. Yeah, it's clear, all right. But what's in it? And it just keeps going and going and going. So when you talk about the gut, I mean, this is an ongoing thing, and I just hope it doesn't go any lower.
And that's another thing, like I was saying, and now is put this stuff to the test. For me, I want a solid validation in some way. I'm playful, but I get all the crap I want, and I still look decent. I'm at 57. I look at a day over 56. Hey, if I can be doing that, everyone can be doing it. And not that I can do that for everyone, but I just want to show for me that it's possible that maybe I can stay, I don't know, a year youthfuler. Youthfuler. I think that's the word.
That was
It
good.
is now.
It is now. Yeah.
He didn't say the word, but I heard it.
Yeah, perfect. Exactly.
I heard it. It was coming. I knew it was coming.
But it's that connection that once I started to at least see, some fairly smooth skin and not a bunch of wrinkles and stuff, I gave credit to go, well, in some way, because I'm looking in the mirror at my big head, and it seems to stay pretty youthful. Once I started doing that, now I built upon the accessibility, the strengths of what I was manifesting. Otherwise, you can build all you want, but if you don't have a positive, productive, solid base, you're just going to be scrambling. And then you go into circles. That kind of a vicious circle will take you down the rabbit hole. And then you go in other places. But again, for me, physically, and then the energy within, like I said, and I could back it, I can eat anything I want. Yeah, I still look pretty decent. That's the point. Body-mind connection, unification, not separation.
Yep.
It doesn't mean I like that he can eat anything he wants. And it doesn't mean I like half the things that he eats either. But I will say this. He knows what a vegetable is now.
And it's not me.
Yeah, but you know, I'm kind of sort of like him in a way in that I do forget. And I keep hearing it. You got to eat this. 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 So what if I don't want to eat that right now? I don't want to eat it right now.
Yeah.
See,
It
that was
sounds
a big thing.
what? Yeah, I know.
Well, yeah, exactly. And when we first got together, I wasn't into all the healthy stuff. But veggies, what's that? She's gotten that, and we do organic on almost everything. And it does seem to make a difference in the vibe for me, too. When you're ingesting that, whatever it is, you are ingesting the vibrational pattern of energy that's within it. So if you're eating eggs or whatever the case is, you are also ingesting the vibrational patterns of that bird's consciousness, egg, whatever you want to do it, that you're now ingesting into your body. Do you really think that there's a major difference between one brain and the other that will perpetuate the pattern or change it?
Yeah, and the vegetables are the best because they do have a brain. You know, and when you're consuming the vegetables, you're consuming the energy from that vegetable at the same time. So it's doing nothing but building up. It does two things. Number one, it gives you some bulk. Obviously, we need that, or we're going to be, out the window somewhere. The other thing is that the vitamins and everything that are in the actual plant that we wouldn't get from anything else that we would normally eat, like the pizza. You're not going to get it from that either. But
I love pizza.
She's a talented chef too.
I see the stuff made every day. But the thing is, I like spun out in the whole thing. But anyway, the other thing is with the vegetable is you not only get the bulk and you get the vegetables and everything else now, but you do get the energy that was in it. There's an electrical web in a vegetable plant, and you're eating it. So
not only
all
that
energy and everything else that they did it with, I think it was beans. Was it beans they did it with, or was it lettuce? It was one of the two that they actually did a test with, and you could actually see on a slide the energy in the plant.
Cool.
And this person is looking at this thing saying, "I'm going to eat this thing," but you're actually literally eating that energy.
Yeah, you are what you eat.
Yeah, right.
There
exactly.
are more.
Why do you feel better? Bingo.
And there are more restaurants, and do some checking, but they literally have people that will energize energy into the food before it's served. And the comment that seems to be made quite a bit is, this has a different taste. It's got a more flavor. Like this is an intent. Now we're seeing that intent can be held within that. And then if you choose to keep that energy, you can bring it in and ingest it. Now you can get more of the healthiness, what works for you, the step stage. So what I'm saying is get a solid validation. Then you'll be more willing to work with these tools and techniques.
And I was talking to a friend of ours, Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Brinkerhoff.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
And would you believe, and the same thing I said to him, I said, does it ever dawn on you that we're getting closer and closer to ancient, the ETs of a long time ago that were 2,000 years, by the way, 2,000 years before the pyramids were in Egypt. They were actually built a long time before they say it was built.
It's been a lot longer, and we as humans have been here a lot longer.
Yeah. This is we're nobody knows it, but we are the third ones. Third. There were two
Why
more.
do you say that? How do you know?
It's put it this way: when you look at the origination of dinosaurs, say, or fish, or anything like that, and you go down past that, you will see that there had to be something else before. Something was there and was wiped. And then something else came up. And they said, we're going to get it right this time. I mean, it wasn't anybody in Washington, but there was somebody. It was somebody that had half a brain. And at that time, they had Lemuria, and Atlantis. That was the second time around. They had more. There were more people that they don't talk about. There were on other places and everything, but our land masses were not what they look like today. They were a little bit different, a little bit more water, the whole 9 yards. Now, you take those two, they disappeared. That's number 2 down. Those guys were crystal people. They used crystals and the energy from those crystals to make their entire world evolve around them. And at the same time, their people were the healthiest, the tallest, from what I understand. They had technology that we haven't even touched, and we couldn't even dream about what they had at that time. But they went away. Why? Because they got a little crazy. Maybe somebody tried to cross somebody's border and the other guy shot back. I don't know. But whatever it happened to be, they're gone. So we're number 3. So the first one was fantastic, and they came from somewhere to come here. They made their little base here, made babies, and they were doing their thing, except it didn't work out. The second guys came here. They were even smarter. They said, hey, the first guy screwed up. We're not going to screw up this time. They disappeared. Now we're here. Where are we going? We got a real short fuse.
What if there's a potential that, I don't know, kind of other genetically, you can create life in many different ways? What if there's just maybe a potential that the extraterrestrials are us, of course, but that we've been here maybe a couple of million years? And, all of those tools and techniques throughout the years, they also have the evolution connection, meaning they'll put, when these people hit the moon, then they're intelligent enough to make a stronger connection. And so now the ETs already helped create this race. Plus, there were other races. Just, I don't know, nothing for nobody, just my awareness. But within that, it has become such a huge dynamic that people don't know where to place that energy, that they don't know what's going on. And so understandably, with all the stuff going on, their energy is getting more like this. I'm not ignorant. I know that stuff's going on. However, just for me, I don't watch a bunch of the news and TV because it would just be like, it's so saturated. So for me and my little cocoon is, we have a great life. I feel great. I'm looking decent. It's that kind that in the tragedy of what's happening, we're creating our own reality of love. We got married during this, an amazing experience, St. Maggie. And it's that kind of connection to go, it's certainly understandable. It doesn't change anything, but I wasn't going to buy into that vibe. I'm like, frick that. Certainly understand it, but I'm going to show from me what we can do for us. Yeah, it's, and if you're doing it, then okay. I like what your end result is because it's solid. But if you're talking about things and you're not living it, I equate that like you're 800 pounds at a gym going, I'm going to show you how to look good. The average person would be like, wow, it's a beautiful intent, but may not quite be the end result I'm looking for. So you begin to go within.
That's another thing too. And the other day, somebody sent me some pictures. And of course, I mean, from the town I was born in, they sent me pictures. We're talking about the 1950s, right?
I thought 40s. Early 1900s.
Well, that's my, well, what did you say? God damn it. But anyway, the thing that I meant by this is everybody that was in the street and everybody that was at the beach, like they showed the Seaside Heights in New Jersey and what's this, Wildwood and that down there. Everybody was, they had the same body I do. You know what I mean? It's like, there's like no fat, no nothing. And that it's all real body.
Sticks and bones.
Wait. All that, I've been called that my whole life, so don't worry about it. But the thing was, you come up into the 60s and the 70s and watch the same places with the same humans walking around on them. Oh, man, we are letting ourselves go. Oh, baby. And I mean, if these people are exercising, they must break more machines than you could ever believe. I mean, seriously. I mean, these people are huge.
Well, and
compared to what they want.
the human body wasn't meant to sit around and consume all day. This body is a machine. It's made to move. It's made to be active. And we're just a lot less active overall as a race. And I don't know how much of that is technology keeping us looking at a phone or looking at a computer or television or like constantly and engaged in something else. We move our bodies less because we are stuck sitting or our head down,
Oh,
looking
yeah.
looking at an electronic device. And it's our type of culture at the moment really encourages us to be lazy and to really not be as active. Although when you live in a moderate climate, sometimes you'll see there's a little bit more activity, like if you can go to the beach every day or if it's nice enough to walk every day. But overall, if we're stuck consuming, we're moving our bodies less, and our bodies are like a vehicle, and we just are going to rust out in the winter. We're going to do all these other things. It's just meant to be a active machine.
If anybody else in that is out there, well, I can tell there's a lot. I can see my graph. I mean, there's a lot of people listening to us.
Awesome.
The thing is this: how many of you people out there, and you can again, Bob Charles Show at live.com, write me.
Oh, they're coming for you.
Yeah, that's right. And what you have to do is tell me how many miles do you walk a day? Now you take this into consideration of your work, what you're doing it around or whatever. Walking is exercise, no matter how they want to cut it, whether you walk fast, slow, backwards, inside out, doesn't matter. As long as you walk, right? Every single day, my minimum of walking is about 12 miles.
Someone's an overachiever. I'm like, my cardio's to the fridge and back.
All you have to do, just put the thing on your arm and get so it shows you how many steps and it adds up, how many things that you do. And every single day I get, like it's like, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 8:30, when I'm going to go to sleep because I'm up at 3. But you take a look at the watch and you go, oh man, I missed it by 22 miles. It's like, I'm serious. One day I looked at the thing and it said 22 miles, and I was like, ah.
That's amazing.
But
and
it's physically, not. It's only 5,280 feet.
Yeah, huh? So with all that mileage, it seems that you've got a pattern going. With this, it seems to keep maybe healthy in other ways that are now consistent. So you know that very action is going to get, on average, this kind of a reaction. That's why I'm saying is we could act all we want, but we need an end result of what we're acting on. Otherwise, why are we doing it? At least for me, why am I doing it? So it's that connection that when people can see, okay, let me see if that's going to work or not so that I don't have to go through it yet. I want to see if you're going to be able to do it. And, okay, you know what, Bob? You're looking good. That seems to be working. So what is it that you're doing? Because just like the food, Dr. Masaru Emoto did thoughts affect water structure. And so I think a lot of food might have some kind of moisture in it. And so all they were doing is working with that molecular structure kind of thing and then creating a vibration of ingestion. And then it could be any intent, yet it could also be activated with that intent. Love literally has a geometric shape to it. It's not kind of for it to be a geometric shape that's specific because love equates that shape. Oh, yeah. So if we've got this shape, it's already love. For me, I'm lazy. I'll take that shape and put it into each and every cell instantly. Now it's that inside job. Now I'm going to create my own reality within other realities because otherwise I get sucked out and all messed up and all that, which is certainly understandable. But I'm like, frick that. I'm not going down that road. No, I understand there's stuff going on. I'm not ignorant. I'm aware of things, but I don't focus on it because you just get so saturated. You hear that enough, your body will start to vibe with it. It's like, wow, it's getting negative. And then that negative will tend to permeate a little bit more of your energy. Well, it's not me, but the whole town is challenged. And so now you're vibing with the entire town's challenge. I'm not ignorant. I know there's life going on, but I keep my energy in a cocoon, in a safe energy, because I know if I let it go, I'm not really letting it go because I receive even more than what I let go and release to help others.
Maggie, you were going to say something.
No, I just let Jamie go off on a rant. I don't know how. He didn't even answer the question of how many miles he walks a day.
I did. I said cardio, fridge and back. Now,
Right.
on average, a couple of miles, and she's great. She's got a quick pace, man. But that's the thing is, it's nice. It's a good morning, and I believe you talked about it's kind of meditative too. So now you're getting a twofer. Not only is it physical exercise, it's metaphysical exercise.
That's the early one, and I've been doing that since you were on the show, and that's like what, 9 years?
Yeah. Dang, that's awesome.
Jeez, Maz.
Anyway, flies
too fast. But the thing is that when I go out with the dog at like 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning, nothing moves. Everything is quiet.
The stillness.
Stars, yes, the stars are out. And it's like the dog's not going to turn around and start, reciting, the independence or whatever to you or anything. So he just does the sniffing thing, and I just do mine. It's like.
You're like, oh, you doing, huh?
He's looking down, you're looking up. You guys hold the poles of the universe.
There you go, balance.
Exactly. So I find Orion, where it is in Orion, and I just like, okay, what do you got to tell me today? And it's automatically. It's not what people would consider meditation. Sitting down, closing your eyes, everything else. Everybody has their own type of meditation. I never even knew I had it. It was your fault that I ever started playing with the thing. But, the more and more I got into it, the more and more you get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into yourself. And that is, sometimes that is scary, because then you find out like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do this? Why didn't I do this? Why? That's when you start being so positive. When you finish a walk like that, you have breakfast and then your orange juice and then or whatever else you're going to have, and you go to work, or you go to a talk, or you go to a place net to talk to people or something. You do these kind of things, and when you walk out the door, it's like you just like let a mad ape, should I say, out of the cage. It's like, Arr! That's how you walk out, and that's how you feel, and you did it to yourself. See, sounds like
our own worst critic, and get in our own way beautifully, and sometimes not even realize it.
Yeah. So what? He gets up in the morning, and goes.
No,
he does that all the time, I think.
Oh my God,
he's crazy. He's Jamie has so much energy that it just like exudes. And so as calm as he looks sometimes while he's talking, his energy is always vibrating at such a high frequency. And so I think he just burns off calories by just having an intensified energy.
Yeah, works for me.
You married a 50 plus
56
year-old guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I was the same way in that, like him at the same age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't get enough life. I don't care what it is. Life, period. Now I'm a lot older.
A lot older.
A lot older. And I'm still feel the same way. The body still reacts the same way. You know what I mean?
Why do you think that
except
is?
for a chiropractor, that's about it. But
look at you're enforcing that body language, that connection. And so even all these years, no matter how old you perceive it to be, you're still in that youthful vibe or healthy vibe, no matter what age you are. Now it becomes, it's not the matter of age, it's the matter of the intent that you have within it.
I had a crutch, though. From the 38 years that I played music, that I sang, that I jumped up and down on stages and the whole 9 yards and everything, and ran up and down and jumped on tables and sang in big places.
Well, you're still doing that.
Close. There's a guitar right behind me that's getting nylon strings.
Someday you're going to have to play for us, if you ever want to. But that would be cool, man.
I swear to God, if you saw the amp that's behind this wall,
I bet.
It's like
Awesome.
4 foot plus.
But notice you have the right tools for the right reasons. You aren't going to get a little speaker box. It's like, we're in this level. We're going to put this because they need to hear that. So now you're putting the pieces together before it's even there. And then by putting it together, the people can listen to that music and let it soothe their soul. And all you're doing is expressing you. That's the point. It's that energy projection. And like I say, for me, what we think about and our attention to those thoughts creates vibrations of energy, and I rate it. That's all I do. But it's also what we think about and our attention to those thoughts are also what constitutes that personal magnetism. When you first meet somebody, you're like, man, all right, I just love your energy. Or, I don't want to get to know you. They don't have to say a word, yet you'll feel their energy. Some have a nice, good, clean energy. Others are like, how's it possible to have a dirty, greasy energy? Yeah, well, it's there. So you begin to understand at least who they are and how you need to communicate. Not just talk to them, talk with them.
Both of you guys, I got a question for both of you. Have you ever walked by someone or walked in a crowd or walked in a mall or whatever else, and you just happen to go by somebody and you hear the person talk to you, but he never opened his mouth or her mouth?
I do that all day.
Yeah, but you do it on a psychic level. I'm talking on an energy level.
Same thing to me. Same thing.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a little bit lower. It's not, I mean, his is a lot higher, and that, but I'm talking a little bit lower than that. Honest to God, now we're talking about the 444s. For the last month and a half or so, and at some time when I pass people in a mall or in a store or something like that, you can hear them talking. They may not be talking to you. They may be talking to somebody else or thinking about somebody else, but you can actually hear it. Like
Yep.
Inside your mind, I guess, you hear this thing. Because I turned around to Diane one time and we were in a store, and that I forget we were getting something for lunch or something, but we went out and I said to her, did you hear that? She goes, hear what? I was like, oh boy, there it goes. Now I'm out of my mind. I swear to God, the woman that was there, she was saying something about if you turn to the left or whatever, that she was like giving directions to somebody.
Do the hokey pokey? Is that?
Well, I thought she was, honest to God, I thought maybe I just overheard her talking to somebody else, but there was nobody near her. And it wasn't the phone.
How did you react? How did you feel? You think you're crazy?
Yeah, but it was too, like I said, if you hear something through your ear, it's a dirtier sound. I've been doing sound for too long. It's a dirtier sound because you hear too much of around you in the sound with the sound that you're hearing. You're the one you're pointing, you're listening to. This woman, it was like the world turned off and all I heard was the voice. So it was whatever she was doing, she was emitting this kind of thing. You want to talk about energy from people. She was. But
you were paying attention. She was probably emitting for other people too. They may not have even picked that up. You got sensitive. Let's go. Oh, that's interesting. So it becomes the co-creation through that mental telepathy.
I was looking at German baloney.
Okay, cool.
I swear. I'm standing. She were right behind me when I was walking. I was like, "What?" And this happens.
It's quite possible that the telepathic veil is thinning a little bit with what's happening with the expansion of consciousness in humanity. I feel like if that's happening, and this is hearsay, but if that veil is thinning, anyone who has a really strong intuitive abilities, or they are psychic, or, well, we're all psychic, but they're using their abilities, anyone who's tuned in just a little bit might be able to hear more, because we've had more questions recently about telepathy and how do I turn off hearing someone's thoughts. This is actually something we're building a podcast episode around for next season, because I'm actually questioning right now, is that veil thinning? Are we becoming more open? Because I think telepathy is a natural state for the human condition. I think that's natural. I think if we were taught how to listen on that frequency at a young age, we would all be running around like Jamie, being able to hear all those things. And so I think that that's actually our potential. But I'm questioning, is the veil thinning, or are we getting more tuned in to that channel?
Which seems to make it thin.
Yeah. So there's my question on the table. I don't have an answer yet, but I'll meditate on it.
There's one more thing that you can think about. How about the person that's talking to you, and you can see their mouth moving. You can hear what they're saying, but you also hear what they're thinking.
Yep.
I pulled that one a couple of times too in the last month and a half. I mean, it was like they were talking to me and saying one thing, but what was coming through their head wasn't exactly what was coming out of their mouth. Wasn't quite in sync.
Were you able to sync that information up? And did you realize which one was which?
I'm a baby at this kind of stuff, but I mean, you know, when it happens, you're either afraid of it and just throw it away, or you concentrate on it, which I do because of you. You concentrate on it and you say, that's cool. Let's try that again. You know, and sometimes it even comes back, which is weird. That happened once.
And it's real. Now it's solid.
Yeah, it's real. I mean, it's to anybody that hasn't been around you, or people like you, or people like Maggie, that are not spiritual motivated in what they do. If they're not like that, they will just throw it right out. If they hear something or something like that, oh, well, it was some guy over there and that was talking, or some guy over there, or I just heard it. Maybe it was an echo in a room, you know, or something. No, I mean, what I've been doing is I've been concentrating on what I heard. And then you can actually drive a nail right into what you were listening to.
But you bring up a point. You're hearing what's said, but you're feeling that what they're thinking. Understanding what they're thinking allows you to understand where they're at so that you can communicate. Not just talk, communicate. And that's all I do is just read the energy. It's all energy. But it's also, I've learned that multidimensionality of thought and physical reality and all that kind of stuff to go, it's all one. It's all interconnected. And here, these thoughts, if you keep thinking these thoughts, here's most likely what you're going to create. Many years ago, I used to work with a cold case posse. And apparently I did well enough that they wanted me to become a profiler. And in that, I was like, wow, that's a beautiful opportunity. However, legally, they have to see physically, whoever the accusers are, I'm going to be putting these people away, and I'm going to be putting over my shoulder, looking over my family for the rest of my life. Frick that. So it was a great validation to go, this is law enforcement. These are detectives. They're not going to go, yeah, if you're not able to produce. That was huge. Oh, yeah, not only that, I went to, at one time, the coroner's office, the morgue kind of thing. Holy crap. I didn't realize death had such a smell to it. Not only that, and I was doing a target read for the body that was found, and they didn't say anything. It was like 30 bodies. I'm like, beep, is that one over there? And they're like, yep, that's it. But it was a strong enough energy that vibration registered in that, because everything was completely closed. You couldn't see anything. It was all zipped and whatever they did. And they were kind of like, hey, that was pretty good. I'm like, yeah, good guesswork, huh? And so they started having me do a little bit more in that way. So again, it's everyone can do it. Just what level do you want to take it to? Keep it subtle. If you don't want to work with it, good, then don't. You're not made to. You're allowed to.
Unbelievable. That's one job in it that I had when I was a senior in high school. We picked up bodies at a hospital off of the funeral home.
Oh, wow. That's powerful, man.
Oh, yeah. You said that, but what the place that smells like. And I was like, yep, I remember that.
Yep. Wild, isn't it? And again, it's all that energy. It's consciousness. Because not only was that there, the coroner asked me, do you see anything? Do you get anything around this area? And I'm like, besides this gentleman, theoretically, who was standing in your office there, she started freaking out. She's like, I got to go. You're freaking me out. I'm like, well, you asked me. And so she saw this person. She sees this person all the time at that place. I'm Joe Schmo. I'm walking in out of left field going, is this the person here? And so it went real. Now she's not just making it up. This is some other person saying the exact thing of what she's experiencing and the placement on average where that person would stand. So it's like, holy cow. I'm like, well, all I'm doing is reading energy. But that's the point, being able to be a little bit more relaxed and receptive. So otherwise, we're trying to pick it apart. And if you're doing that, you're trying to analyze. I just let it come to me and feel the vibe. I'm lazy.
Interesting. Before I let you guys go, Annette, you sent me the thing about the 444. And it happened again this morning.
Nice.
I'm serious. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't hear anything. Nobody came and walked by me or anything like that yet, except for Jake. He comes by once in a while.
You know, it's interesting, but go ahead.
Angelic vibration? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No,
you said Jake. I believe you said Jake, right?
Jake, yeah.
Yeah, your kid. Yeah.
The dog.
Doggy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm like,
sorry.
I don't know where I was going with that, but
I was actually feeling when you're talking about the 444, that is what's called an angel number. Like a lot of people call that the number of the angels. And so maybe ask the angels, like be a little bit more participatory and say, hey, angels, if it's you, show it to me in my daily life where I absolutely have no doubt that it's you. right? Because maybe you're just tuning into an angelic frequency and they're just getting your attention so that you consciously open up slowly to their energy and their presence and what it is that they're there for. I mean, it might be communication. It might just be like, hey, we're going to hang out and be with you. It could be about love. It could be about anything, but maybe just check in with them, like throw something upstairs and be like, hey, angels, I notice 444 all the time. If it's you, give me a validation of an angel or give me XYZ validation. You call it and
What?
see what they do.
And it's not
Well,
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, well, I gotta look up at the air and go, yo. You know.
That's what
And
I
then
like
you
to
start
do.
looking within.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you see enough of that to go, oh, it's an inside job. Now do we have enough guts to become that inner space astronaut, discovering who we truly are, which is everything. There is no separation.
The funny part was I sent you the copy of the receipt.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the actual copy. I mean,
Yes,
this is
sir.
what's going on. I mean, I'm seeing these things. I mean, it's not my psychic. I'm not losing my mind. These numbers are really, really there.
And they're speaking to you. Have you ever questioned how these scientists who make these major life discoveries do it in numbers and letters? Really? Really?
Yeah.
E equals MC squared.
Well,
Oh, really? So it's that vibrational pattern of information.
I told you, all these people that to write all these songs. Now, this is. I'm saying this now for everybody that's listening to this broadcast. All these people that are writing all these songs, trust me when I tell you, when I wrote songs, I did nothing but write. Didn't think about it, didn't think about where I was going, how I was getting there, or whatever else. I'm saying, I want to start here. This is what, where I want to go. What am I going to put in between? All of a sudden, pow. I mean, I could write a song in 5 minutes. Then there were other songs that I go through half of the thing and then go, no, I want to change it. But then I'd say, no, don't be a dope. Leave it and continue. And then I made some of the weirdest songs. Like you hear like the first third of the song, and that would be one way, but the middle piece was a whole nother different reprise in the middle. And then it would come out the other way, how it started. But
Sounds like you went on autopilot, though.
Yeah, I'm serious. That's what it is. It's like auto. What do they call it? Writing.
Automatic writing. Yeah, you become the channel. Exactly. You're just letting that information flow through you going, I don't know, it's not me. It's not like your eyes are rolling back in your head.
Exactly.
It will just run through your soul and conscious mind to go, you want to blend it because it's all one. Speak from the soul, the fullness of the heart and soul, not the bottom of the heart and soul, to me.
And the same thing works with words. When people write books, there's people that can turn out books one a week. If they want 400 pages, if they wanted to, because they're letting their minds go. And by letting them go, and that it's another ball game completely. And he's out of here, and you guys actually are out of here, and everybody over there is out of there. So I had this thing that I wanted to bring out, but we'll do it in another show. What is unconditional love? So many. I mean, this is driving me up a creek or whatever. I mean, literally, I have pages of what it is, how it is, the whole 9 yards. I've been researching this because so many people are saying, well, and we can't go here and that because of these diseases and everything else and that. I can't love this person, blah, blah, blah. And I keep on saying, look, you don't have to touch anybody to love. You don't have to go near anybody. You don't have to adore someone. You don't have to be part of a person. You don't have to touch them to do that. Your mind can meld with that person, and there's unconditional love. That's love where you don't ask for anything in return. You give, but you don't ask back.
Some people may not know. I don't know what unconditional love is.
That's what
I'll just share. Well, have you ever seen a newborn baby, or have you ever seen an animal? Because more than likely you accept that child unconditionally as it is, and more than likely as it's growing, you probably want to help, not negate him. So it becomes, as we're doing that, can we help ourselves too? Is it okay? No longer narcissism, it's self-realization. Because for me, I cannot give what I do not have. When people can say, all right, you don't have some big old ego, man, I'm no better, no worse, I'm just going to do me. But if they can see an example of that to go, okay, now there's an outcome of this love and light stuff. because otherwise that's a bunch of, and so be practical about it.
My thing on this is there's another side to this. For the unconditional love can be the person who held a door for somebody or took a bag to a car for somebody. I've done that before plenty of times. But or held somebody up because they were going to get a little tippy. I mean, this old lady one time, and I was reaching for something off a top shelf of something, and it's a good thing I was standing there because I caught her. I mean, she would have been on her back in like 2 seconds. But things like this is the part of unconditional love that we don't realize we're doing, but we could make better. We could refine what's there. We could refine what we already know, what we already act, what we already feel.
And it sounds like semantics, playing on words, but truly, love of itself already is unconditional. That's why everything's allowed to be. The moment that you say unconditional love to you, you've just put a condition on it.
And I'm not going to stand around and go num yo ho to 528.
Hey, it's whatever works, but that's the point. See, that's my thing is mantras and things. For me, those who know me, every morning I would wake up. As soon as I got up, I was doing my meditations, light the candles, put the music on. And within about 30 minutes, I was tapped in and psychically on. And after many years, I was like, Chi, my master guide, is there anything I can do to help speed this up? Because I feel like I'm working from the moment I get up. And I said, well, yeah, Jamie, you know how when you get up and you turn on the music and light the candles and do your meditations and then you're psychically on? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, once you've taken all those steps and you are psychically on, entrain how it feels to be psychically on, and then create a white button in your mind. All I have to do is push that white button. I'm instantly here. I just associate, I got to do this, do this, do this, do that. So I kept doing this, do this, do this, to that, when it can actually be even more simplified, not less effective, sometimes even more effective by less effort.
Yeah, Mac. Oh, she's going. Oh boy, she's one. She should be a picture. She was winding up for that one. Here come the.
I feel safe.
I definitely was winding up for this. I mean, I could talk for hours about unconditional love. I could talk for hours about how to practice unconditional love, because I feel like most of us don't understand unconditional love because most of us don't know what it feels like to be loved like that.
That's
and
right.
if you've never experienced it and felt it, how do you vibrate that and how do you share that? We do feel that from the mother and the father usually, but not in every case. I mean, there's horror stories there, right? So what does that mean, unconditional love? And then, of course, when the pedestals get taken down with our parents on top of them, because eventually they all have to come down and be humanized and not deified, how do we then transpose the unconditional love we once felt to who we see who they really are? And that is the switch. If we could do that with our parents, if we could do that with the people that raised us, taking them off the pedestal of, oh, I once loved you unconditionally, but then you know what, you were kind of a not so nice here or there, and I had to take you off the pedestal, but I can still love you. And so family can teach us how to love unconditionally because we still have the love there. We still like, oh my gosh, I didn't like the way I was treated by my dad when he did XYZ, or my mom when she said that, or this happened, or whatever. We get hurt when we're kids over anything. We drop a cookie and we're hurt. We drop ice cream, we don't get another cone, we're hurt. But how do we still love? Because it's innately within us to always love. It's innate to go back to love and not fear and hate. And so most of us try like heck to keep that love. Now, some of us have to learn how to do that or relearn how to do that because there's no trust anymore. If trust is broken, how do you love? And so I could talk for hours on examples of how to practice that love and compassion. And so I'm excited that we're going to probably bring this back on for our Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Or not on Valentine's Day, but for that episode.
We're on Valentine's Day, I believe.
Cool, excellent.
I thought that was a Monday.
Okay,
you
close
sure?
enough, man.
Yeah.
Hey, another thing that, and ladies and gentlemen, do your homework so I'm not just flapping my gums, but I believe it's been shared the fact that Albert Einstein.
Tuesday.
Okay, perfect. Albert Einstein,
Really? Wow.
who had the technology, the knowledge to create, I don't know, something that might hurt people, is also the very same scientist who validated that love is a real energy. He had written a bunch of letters and he had those put away for at least years, decades and decades. And then one of the letters that he wrote his daughter was looking at it and he said, it is the orchestrator of all things. And exactly, love allows everything to be. What do you want to vibe with? What level do you want to take it to? You want to feel no love? Perfect. You want to feel a little bit more? I just create the entire spectrum to come from fullness of the heart and soul. So it's that type of a connection that, they need to see that you can fit this into your life and not be all, hey. It's like, man, love is love. It's energy and it's also nourishment. There are people who don't feel loved and then they start to get like this and then they'll find a great connection or relationship or whatever it is and they start to empower themselves. Same energy, they just thought it was less, so now physically and mentally they're being lessened. You start to be able to give yourself that love from the inside out, not narcissism, self-realization. I cannot get what I do not have. And when people can go, okay, that is love, you're loving. And I always say, never mistake love and compassion for weakness. It is the complete opposite.
Oh man, could we have fun with this one? I tell you, there's
we will.
So much to this that, oh boy.
It's just the tip. Yep.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, meanwhile.
Ow! Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great day. Love you.
You can always go on to jamieclark.net. Just go on there. You get all the links and everything else that off that. At the same time, you can also go on to YouTube and go to Pyramid One Radio. When you go to Pyramid One Radio, you'll pick up the videos with Jamie and Maggie. When you pick those up, all of the links, and I'm talking links like you have no idea, are in those videos written on that video. So therefore, do it. Find out what's going on. Come on, there is a world around you that you don't know of yet. So ask questions, get answers, open yourself to the world. God bless y'all. Bob Charles.